Here we have JD Runnels as our special guest today. And JD, just thank you for coming out real quick.
Anytime, brother.
Thank you.
Appreciate y'all.
And so how this is going to work, we're going to play a game of Madden, a little informational, but with the twist, we have a all OU offensive team. So first, on the Cleveland Browns, we have number 1 pick, Baker Mayfield.
Obviously.
Then at halfback, we have AP or AD, depending on where you're from.
Either way.
And then we have Samaje Perine.
Yep.
And then, of course, at the fullback, we can't forget the fullback, the one and the only Heisman winner. Hopefully, should have been
in my own mind.
In his mind,
Yes.
JD Runnels.
Yes.
And then at wideout, we have Sterling Shepard and of course Hollywood Brown on the Browns.
Oh yeah.
So then we go to the Cardinals. We have our other number 1 pick,
Westbrook,
Kyler Murray. Halfback, we have Thunder and Lightning themselves, Joe Mixon and Rodney Anderson.
Right.
Then of course we have two-time should have Heisman winner JD Runnels again, and then we have Kenny Stills and D.D. Westbrook. So we're gonna flip a coin. You want to flip it?
No, you want to do the honors?
Awesome. And then so heads, I'll be the Browns, and then tails, I'll be the Cardinals.
Sounds good.
Go ahead, Will. Give me something good.
I got heads.
Okay, so
Browns.
I'll be the Cardinals, and then you get the Browns.
Okay,
Sound
cool.
good? But, and then, of course, we have to play the Super Bowl.
Oh,
That's our only option.
Absolutely.
But so, JD, just a couple questions along as we play. So, what do you think that the biggest difference from when you played at OU to now?
Yeah. Well, you know, obviously I played fullback, and that's a position that's around a lot. But you know, one of the big things that, you know, not so much taking us off the field, but just putting us in different spots is one. Jeremiah Hall puts his hand in the ground at tight end. I'm getting the Browns, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jeremiah Hall puts a hand in the ground. They're in a lot more 3 receiver. They're in a lot more what we call 11 personnel or 21 personnel, 2 back, 1 tight, which we were more of 22 personnel. We would do more 23, 2 back, 3 tight end, things like that. Those are kind of unheard of now.
Yeah.
With the targeting rules being what they are, with just schemes the way they are. Credit Lincoln, he does a lot more fullback, but again, we call it an H-back now. It's not even a typical fullback because you're not in a 3-point stance. So you've got there's a lot of factors. The receiver play of the routes that they run, the route trees. The route tree's still the same, but there's a lot more routes out there. Yeah. One of my favorites was what we call a jerk route. It's like a 3-way go. You can run in, run back out, run this way, or run that way. And you know, against a cover 2, if it's a man coverage in that safety split, you know, you run verticals over there. You've got a fullback or somebody, hopefully a fullback. But a lot of times they want to use a inside wide receiver, your H guy. You're like a Hollywood Brown or something like that. People wonder how's he get so wide open. Little routes like that. You're in man coverage. Your safeties go check on CD and somebody else. You're exposed underneath. There you go. You know.
Yeah, because people oftentimes forget that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
the first one last week.
Yeah. So then, what would you say too is some of your just favorite moments just playing?
Man, tons of them. I mean, obviously catching a touchdown, and throwing the horns down against Texas. I mean,
back when we could still do that.
Gets no realer than that. They're having their silence. Okay, I only need to know one button. What's the speed button?
Speed button is just
okay,
you hold
that's
right
all
trigger.
I need to know.
That's all you got.
Yeah. Where's the speed?
Speed is right trigger.
But
B is spin. A is stiff arm. All that stuff. So.
The OU Texas beating OSU up in Stillwater was great. Man, it was. There's just so many memories that, you know. Man, you know, blocking for AD, just some of his games, some of Mark Clayton's games, Texas A&M, his first half, Jason White, just little stuff like that. I mean, it's just, it's incredible, man. Just thinking back to how good we were and just, you know, all those things. Can't beat those memories. Cannot beat them. So
now for this game, what's your score prediction?
You're gonna beat me because I don't play Madden at all. So I'm gonna be terrible at this. So people are gonna be like, "Why don't you play Madden?" Well, I'm coaching 3 football teams right now.
Yeah, playing real life.
Yeah, I'm playing in real life. 5th grade, 7th grade, 5th grade, 7th grade, and 8th grade. So,
gotcha. And so, speaking of that, I'm glad you said that. How do you feel actually playing, of course, in college and in the league has helped you kind of give back to these communities?
Oh man, tons of ways. You know, it's amazing. You know, just the ability to help kids, just to know the game. I think a lot of kids want to know just the X's and O's are one thing, but what it takes to get there is a whole nother thing. And so that's what I enjoy doing. And I'm teaching math now, so I get the teaching side plus the coaching side. I get to help kids that are, you know, in school, help them in the school and help them outside the school. So that helps. You know, I'm decent. I'm staying on I formation. Let's go.
Oh no, this is about to be bad.
Mixon's the real deal. Or is that AD?
Oh, no,
Oh,
it's
it's P-Ryan.
P-Ryan.
Oh, what do you
Oh.
expect? I mean, wow. We got lucky.
Well,
But,
I'm
yeah, my
already
prediction.
down. I'm already down 6-0.
That's, you know.
Sorry, my bad to
No, you
interrupt
good.
you. I didn't know you were
No,
going
no.
to break that off like that.
I don't know how to kick it, but
You press A, then it gets to the top, and then when it comes back to
that's going to be terrible.
Yeah,
Just
I'll
like
give
a
you-
real NFL.
Yeah,
No, you're good. Don't worry. No.
I'll give you the
No,
next
no.
one.
Yeah.
So speaking of that, I just kind of heard you say that too. Also, is just as far as putting the work in and grinding and stuff like that. And of course, you reached the league. And if I'm correct, you were on the Bears Super Bowl team,
absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
So what type of work ethic and what did that take to get all the way to the top?
Man.
And what advice would you give to current players, current Sooners in the league, and Sooners maybe wanting to go to the league?
Lot. Yeah, you can write a book on it. You know, it's a rare experience. You know, when you play at OU, that's the when you sign to OU, that's the goal.
Yeah.
You know, no offense to UCO, I love UCO or OBU. I'll use a few of them. But sorry. When you go there, the goal is to, for a lot of kids, it's just to maintain and play and get your education in Oklahoma and stuff like that. You know, for us, it's play on Sundays. It's get drafted. It's play with other draft picks. The other deal is that experience is just, like I said, it's one of a kind, man. It's a bunch of guys that are just from, you know, you're the numbers. I'm a math guy. I believe it's 1.25 million make it to D1, 1 in a million make it to the NFL.
Yeah.
And so, you know, even at a place like an OU, I mean, just from my draft class, I mean, Davin went first round, Travis Chester went second round. You know, Dusty and Travis went third round. We had Clint went third round. You know, we had a bunch of guys. So 6, 7 guys that ended up getting drafted.
Yeah.
And that's on a down year, a year that lost 4 games.
Yeah.
You know, we had 10 the year before and 4 go free agent. I mean, that's a lot of dudes. But that NFL deal, man. That's touchdown. Good play.
Here we go.
Yeah, I got to back up. How you back those guys up?
Prevent. Yeah, you press Y and go up on that.
But it's all good. So yeah, like I said, it's just that process itself. I think, you know, I've talked to Jeremiah Hall quite a bit, and just that fullback transition, Dimitri Flowers, Trey Miller. I was actually doing personal training and helping Trey Miller when he was in good play, when he was coming out for the draft, and did a little bit of training for him. And then I was a guy, I only got drafted because of the 40 time that I ran. Yeah. I went out and spent a bunch of time in Arizona at those pro training complexes that a lot of guys go to. Ran a faster 40 than, you know, anybody's seen at fullback in I don't even know how long.
Probably still.
Yeah,
honestly.
maybe, yeah.
Honestly.
So, but I mean, actually, you're from where I'm from. I mean,
Yeah.
Dale City, Midwest City, Carl Albert play no games in track.
Yeah, no. Always.
There's no
always.
game. So I mean, it's I mean, y'all won state this past year, and you should have won it 3 years ago. That was crazy. So I just used to run, man. I would go chase our sprinters and just be a guy for them that would, you know, be the rabbit and just go chase it, you know, help them work and things like that. So I mean, that speed just helped me, man. It helped me so much. So
Let's go.
1 foot in.
I don't know, but you did throw the Pat Pete.
For sure.
So, but I'm glad that you mentioned speed, because obviously it's nationally known that our defense has improved by an astronomical
Light years,
amount. And so, what do you think is the key? Because I know we have this whole speed D movement that's going on at the university. What do you think is the whole MO behind our defense's improvement?
One, it's they've alleviated thinking, which has helped with pressure situations. And so it's basically saying, instead of reading your guy, don't read anybody, get by him.
Yeah.
You know, that helps a ton when your D line can create pressure. It helps your DBs relax. But then they've also done really, really well pressuring from the DB standpoint. I said it before the year, and I didn't know that OU was going to do well because of the pressure in the Big 12 and even nationally that it's put on your nickels and corners.
Yeah.
Nickels, corners, and safeties, a lot of times, your safety play is so important. It's why Alabama and Clemson win it all the time. People think it's in the trenches. It is part of that. But at the end of the day, their safeties make tackles in the open field. Where we lost to Georgia and didn't tackle Chubb and Sony Michel, they did.
Yeah.
They did. You know, and so where Clemson didn't tackle, you know, or where we didn't tackle Josh Jacobs and the other guy, they did. You know, they shut him down. So again, a lot of that's D-line play, and a lot of people take for granted how fast some of those D linemen are too.
Oh, yeah.
Those dudes are powerful, strong dudes that can move. So, like I say, man, it just there's a lot that goes into playing well on Saturdays, playing well on Sundays. There's a lot of guys like that out there. Kyler's in Arizona. I'm pretty sure he did all of his training out there. So it's just a different world. Again, for that whole entire just process of that is a different world.
Yeah, for sure. And then just to kind of highlight you and talk about your life. So how important also do you feel it is just as far as the life outside of the field, and just maintaining that as far as like going to class, making sure everything's taken care of outside of the field? Because when you get to the big leagues, all these cameras get in your face, you kind of start to like lose yourself a little bit. How do you maintain
that's a
that?
great question. With the NFL, the spotlight becomes bigger, but you have way more time.
Oh, I just got picked? No.
Oh,
no, he's gone. He's gone.
I don't know. With the NFL, man, you it's like that, man. It's just it's decision making on the run, and you're not around your parents, you're not around your college coaches, and you don't have school. There's a lot of factors, and you got a ton of money.
Yeah.
So that there's a lot of factors that make you want to do things that you may not. They say money brings out who you truly are. What I say is when you get freedom, you're going to do what you want to do. Let's
go!
Go get you one. Go get you one.
And then, of course, he falls down.
Yeah, that's one of my defenders did that in 8th grade the other day. So, it may not be as much of a video game as we think.
That's the first time I've ever blocked a field goal in this game. Fun fact. But yeah, no, I definitely think that's a big part of it is just because of all, and of course I have no idea what it's like in the NFL, but just of course like just the freedom and stuff like that.
The lifestyle's different, man. You have to be, Kyler I think shows people a lot, man, just how much he works out and things like that. I think it's good, man, and I know Antonio Brown's had a horrible year, but the dudes work. They work like there's no other in the NFL to stay and keep their body in shape because it's such a brutal game. Yeah. But the lifestyle it's the lifestyle, man. I mean, you're in the big times and great run.
Oh, break it.
You're in the big times, man, and that's where if I had any advice for the guys, it would just be one. I wouldn't make any huge. If I could go back, I wouldn't make any huge purchases until I was out of the league. Yeah. Your life's so fast at that time, and you've got so many moving parts that I would just want to save everything and do what I wanted to do after I was done, not while I was doing it. Right. But then also just to be smart with your body and how you're gonna, carry yourself off the field. My thing for the guys is set up what you're wanting to do for after. If you want to just chill, you probably need to save every dollar that you can. Right. If you don't want to work again, I mean, you need a couple $1 million to retire, have grandkids, grandkids, that whole deal. Other than that, man, use it as a tool. Kind of like I want to compliment myself, but just use your name like as a personal trainer. Go into coaching and things like that, and give back to the people that we all have coaches that impacted our lives. Yeah, any sport, teachers. It's a natural fit for a lot of guys. Good.
Did he grab that?
That's Kenny Stills, baby.
That's
that's what I'm
very true. Yeah. So honestly, like 100% honest, if you could bake yourself an all OU team to play with,
that's a good question.
Who would it be? All time.
Well,
you can go position by position if you want to.
Believe it or not, quarterback, I take Baker. Baker and Sam are 1A, 1B. Kyler's right there, just with his speed. Yeah. The one thing about the NFL, Justin's heard me say this a ton, is it's so much about your pass placement, where you place the ball means so much, and Sam and Baker just have the rarest of rare ability. And again, Kyler has that plus the run game. I don't know why I keep bumping Siri. So Kyler just has a rare ability as far as the running. I just think Baker and them it's just a little touch on that ball. Man, Adrian Peterson's a different deal as far as running back. I mean, he's in the NFL MVP. He's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Right. I mean, everybody knows the story. I mean, when the whole world knows you by a nickname, you that guy. Yeah. I mean,
I'm assuming you take yourself at fullback.
I wouldn't actually.
You wouldn't?
No, I wouldn't.
Who would you take?
No. If I had to take a fullback, believe it or not, I'd probably take Trey, man. Miller.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Well, just because he played quarterback in high school. The dude's versatile like that. Sure. Or Dimitri. I mean, Dimitri just had such a productive. Those guys got the ball downfield. I wasn't able to have that luxury.
Right.
So it just, I'd probably go 2 running backs as well, just because we've been so blessed at running back with Mixon, DeMarco Murray, and guys like that.
Yeah.
They didn't give it to me. How am I not in on
who
that
is
formation?
this though?
I don't know.
There it goes.
But yeah, receivers, man, I have to put Mark Clayton out there. I probably have to put Kenny Stills out there.
Let's say we're going spread, so 4 wide. You
go 4 wide.
Yeah.
I take Kenny. I take Mark. I take Dede and Shep.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and CD would, after this year, CD be up in there.
Yeah, that'd be dangerous.
Yeah. So those would be the guys I would take, man. But I mean, you could really just go with, and then you got tight end. I mean, it'd be toss up to me between Gresham and Andrews. I mean, those are some dudes, man.
Yeah.
So.
Awesome.
Couldn't get up.
There we go. I'm working on it. It's 12-16 right now. Got a minute 45 left in this first half.
I'm impressed with my effort.
I like it.
I'm very impressed with my effort. We're not satisfied here.
Never. I threw a pick. Kenny Stills had probably one-hander I've best ever seen in this game.
Oh, Baker.
How's that not a fumble? Oh, man.
Better finish the play.
Yeah, and then what's something kind of like I said, going back to you, and like you said, we're a lot from the same area, stuff like that. What is like something that you try and show to kids from like our community by you just obviously going up the ladder, playing collegiate D1 football, going to the NFL, like what's something that you would like for them to know, what I'm saying, for kids that's maybe like 7th, 8th grade team, stuff like that.
Yep. How many don't make it?
And so just like do you mean just telling them like that there's other options and stuff?
Well, beyond that, they need to have a plan.
Yeah.
But you'd be amazed how many kids are going to they're going to make it to the NBA. They're going to make it to the NFL. Okay, that's fine. Let's pretend that that's your dream.
Yeah.
First and foremost, which one of us is locking up LeBron and KD?
Not me.
Okay, right. Because this is the first thing we got to do. We got to play defense, right? On somebody. Okay, who's locking up CP3 or Kyrie?
Nobody.
Nobody, right? So we talking NFL. You're going to make it. Okay, who's blocking JJ Watt?
Yeah.
Who's tackling Adrian Peterson? Right, we need answers, right?
Yeah.
So we don't have answers to those questions. That's fine. So we just have a dream. The famous, what's his name? Herm Edwards quote: "A goal without a dream is just a wish," or a goal without what's he say? Something like that. You have to basically work for it. But I mean, dude, we can all think that we're going that route, but the reality is we have to live that lifestyle up until that.
Yeah.
And that's what I don't think a lot of people realize. So.
Yeah, for sure. No, yeah, that's definitely.
Oh, we got stopped on 4th and inches.
That's what I'm talking about.
How's that happen?
I have to win this game, or else all of my credit is down the drain. Like,
it's all good. And then the NFL, man, like I said, just, I mean, the people will never understand, but, we love watching it.
Right.
Dude, there's going to be a lot, especially coming up in these cold weather games, there's going to be a lot of 10-7 scores.
Yeah.
There's a reason for that. It's not because the offenses are bad. It's because the defenses are that damn good. Dude, if you walked in, I mean, some of these dudes, the size of these cats, I mean, you walk in, you're like, damn, 6'8", 360, 6'9", 350. You're like, holy goodness. And when we used to have, there's, dudes you never even really heard of, but they'll be moved out to tight end and stuff just so you can overload and block people. And I mean, some of the defenders, man, Albert Hainsworth. Oh my God, I am good.
Oh
yeah.
I just realized what you said.
Holy moly, I got some burst out there.
Yeah, I told you, like you said, best player on here should have won the Heisman.
That's
probably twice.
But man, it really is. Like I said, Albert Hainsworth was a guy. Jason Taylor was a dude. Brian Urlacher, Ray Lewis. You go on and on. These dudes felt like they were 7 foot tall.
Yeah.
So.
Oof. And then so that kind of goes into what I was going to say. Just our next segment is just how hard is it to play in today's game? Do you feel like it's harder to play when you were around? Or do you think it's harder to play today?
That's a great question, man. I would say it's positional. You know, if you're a quarterback, it's much harder to play now than it was then.
Oh,
man,
did you
come
pick
on.
that?
I don't know how.
I don't know either, but
If you're a quarterback, it's much harder because you got to read so many more things. You got to throw the ball more. Back in the day, it was just handoff. If you were exotic, you threw a sweep.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
or something like that. Then it became fade. Now it's slant. It's out. It's comeback. It's wheel. I mean, your quarterback's not. Dude, it's funny you mentioned that. I was thinking, you know, before I came into this job this year, because this is my first year coaching 7th and 8th grade.
yeah.
I was, you know, I'm a run game guy. I love running the football, that whole deal. You can't make it now in junior high without throwing the football.
Oof. No.
Are you hearing me?
Yeah.
You cannot make it. First of all, Dell City's junior high is unbelievable.
Oh yeah. I keep tabs on them. Yeah, yeah.
Unbelievable. We scrimmaged them this year. We took our kids over there. But it's amazing now how it's trickled down into everybody's in shotgun. Fullbacks are rare. They're just lead blockers if they're on the side.
Right.
Multiple tight end sets are rare.
Yeah.
It really is. There's 3-4 wide receivers on the field on every team. And I'm the anomaly out there. I'm next year especially. I'm going to be in. We don't have 9 linemen on the field. Okay. I mean, you leave me, and it's nothing against our kids. We're just kind of limited in speed. I mean, we did that this year, and you know, when you have to do that, you have to create something for the defense. And here's the other deal. Look at what the NFL does. You know, fullback is not going extinct in the NFL for a reason.
Yeah.
I mean, those dudes are big, and you have to have people to block them.
Right.
You know,
yeah.
I don't know if y'all watched the Patriots game last night, but they brought up the fullback like 10 times.
Yeah,
in
the
the
Patriots
game.
are known for fullbacks.
My buddy James Devlin is hurt. I told Justin this story, but James Devlin, a lot of people don't know the dude. We signed him in the U.S. His first pro football job was in his first football job was in the UFL. We brought him in as a DN, moving him to fullback. I was the fast guy, he was the power guy. We have Sean McVay as our offensive coordinator.
Wow.
Jay Gruden's our head coach.
Dang.
It ends up Jimmy, they both get to Cincinnati. Jimmy goes to practice squad with them. He gets signed to New England. And why they brought it up is because he's been hurt, and New England's been having trouble finding a fullback.
Oh.
And so, again, that position in the NFL, good call.
Oh, he's not fast. He's not fast. That's a punter. Oh. Oh, that hurt. I forgot he was a punter.
You know, and that's really realistic. Yeah, and that's realistic, man. You know, you ever see those dudes look so unathletic out there.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate because the game is so fast in the NFL.
Yeah,
I bring up that 10-7 score, man. It's real. It's hard to get first downs in the NFL.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
You brought up Patrick P., but those front guys, I mean, those dudes know how to get off blocks. And
Oh,
man,
my gosh, bro. What just...
Samaj. Kansas is having flashbacks.
Yeah, they...
Yeah.
If I lose this game, I don't think I can ever play Madden again. I've lost on camera. Like,
oh, man.
And so speaking of that, kind of just going into that, so I've also noticed like on your Twitter and stuff after these games, you'll do like whole breakdowns and stuff with the chalkboard and everything like that. How important do you think that is to educate fans as far as just everything that's going on? Because I know a lot of people sometimes, if we have a tough game or something like that, they're quick to criticize. But I've even seen it under your comments. Oh, thanks for this understanding. I see it now.
Well, see, that's a great, I appreciate that. But think of it this way. You know, what are those videos usually? 2 minutes?
Yeah, something like that.
What does OU usually run? About 90 offensive plays?
Yeah.
Okay, so imagine that same way, if that's the same way I break those plays down, is that how they teach the team? How long does that take to teach just the plays we're going to run this week?
Probably not that long, to be honest.
Oh, if it's 2 minutes of play, though, times 90 plays.
That would take a minute.
Because we're not running the same play every time.
Yeah.
We're installing probably 100 to 200 plays a week. So when you're meeting with your coaches individually and in groups and in meetings, I mean, you're going over stuff after stuff after stuff. Plays. And that's where when I tell people, you know, if they blitz everybody, I know who I got. If they play one deep, I know I got. If they play cover 2, if they play cover 3, if they play this, if they line up in that, I know what I'm going to do.
Right.
If the line misses this, I've got that. If they miss this, I've got that. If I work my way, if I make my way to the linebacker, that's my job. But I have to read the nose. I have to read the DN slant. I have to read if the corner blitzes. I have to read if the safety blitzes. I mean, there, you know, and that's where a lot of people just get caught up in. Well, did he miss the tackle?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, there was other guys out there too.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there was probably somebody else who should have been in their gap or behind him, trailing. You know, things like that. So, and then again, you know, offensively, you have to win up front. You know, and that's one thing. I love Lincoln to death. He's an offensive genius and that whole deal. Yeah. And yes, we've done well against Georgia and you know, torched those guys. But the reality is we've struggled at times with some of those Southeastern teams, especially Clemson. Yeah. I mean, it's just those front sevens. That's why the NFL is going to draft those guys, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
That's where they are.
Yeah, and that makes a lot of sense just because of
oh goodness.
Oh, I needed that. That's okay. I got time. It's 3 points. I have a whole quarter.
Yes,
that's too much
true.
time.
Very
that's
true. Absolutely. You got Kyler.
Oh man, we'll see. We'll see. Lord knows by the way I've been playing. I don't know, but yeah, I definitely think that is really important to highlight that type of stuff. Just because even for me, I'm a football guy. There's some stuff where I'm like, holy cow, like I never knew that. And it just really explains, like I say, you can see, like you mentioned earlier, with the defense, just how much time they put in because you can see these, somebody get there.
No. Lucky.
You can see them putting in reads. You can see them reading, stuff like that.
Brother, and I don't mean to cut you off, but
no, you're fine.
NFL is even a more different level than that. I mean, Urlacher, those guys know what you're doing before you're doing it. I mean, you have to be a smart football player to, 1, even get out there, 2, confuse them, 3, execute. Yeah. I mean, it's tough.
And that's the other thing I was going to highlight too and ask you about is just because nationally Lincoln's known for his play calling as far as all the motions that he has, all the reads, all the fakes, stuff like that. And do you think that the offensive success is because of him or because of the talent we have?
A little bit of both. Absolutely, a little bit of both. I mean, you can't run RPO and things like that if you don't have a line to block.
Right.
You can't have a fullback selling it for 2 seconds, and then running up the field if you don't have 5 or 6 guys back there that can hold up against a Texas, TCU, Iowa State. Those guys are pretty good.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, he has a really, really good ability of preying on people's what I call their natural football instincts, and it's the CD Lamb flea flicker the other day. Yeah. He knew that linebacker was going to come in and chase because he saw run game. Yeah. Well, then he knew he was going to back out because he saw him flea flick, and it was just getting CD the ball right over there before he got to the safeties and corners. Brilliant play. Ends up having 6 people and turning it into a picture on Twitter that goes viral.
Yeah.
But and again, I want people to think of whenever I do those breakdowns, think of how much you have to coach of what could possibly happen. Yeah. And every situation, hey guys, if this nickel blitzes and blah, 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 I mean, as a running back, you might have to block him and da-da-da-da-da. I mean, there's just situation. Good.
Did he grab that?
Play. Oh, I got mossed.
Yeah, Kenny Stills is my number 1 receiver right now.
There's the game, though. That play right there, that's what's changed football. I mean, in reality, the jump ball has changed football. Yeah. You look at what we call a Z receiver in the NFL, and a Z is basically when we go goal line, it's a Larry Fitzgerald that we just put out there, and we say, you're going to put a corner out there. Yeah. You better have a tall guy. Or else he's getting mossed.
Right, and, exactly.
You know, a lot of times defense will have to shade that safety out there just to give extra help. Yeah. Because those guys are so big. You can't find a 6'5" guy that can backpedal.
That's very true, yeah.
But there's some tall DBs out there. That's the other. I tell a lot of people, man, and before you judge play calls, before you judge those things, get as close as you can to an NFL game. Get as close as you can to those sidelines and see how fast those dudes are moving. Yeah. See the power that those dudes are hitting with, man. Yeah. It will change you up real quick. Real quick. Come on, Knicks.
No.
Yeah, I think it is. I'm not sure.
But yeah, that's very true because oftentimes you can even hear it sometimes from the student section. They're like, holy cow, like these guys are big.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's like you mentioned earlier that these players are getting bigger and faster and stronger. But I think the thing that, like you were saying, that Lincoln highlights very well is just exploiting just natural instincts. Just because some of these players, they want to play chase. You know what I'm saying? They see somebody running along, they're like, oh, I think that's my. I like that. They say, oh, I think that's my guy. This, and this. So how important do you think it is for OU's offense to stay the same but also change at the same time?
Yeah, so I mean, basically, it's about just like they do. I mean, their best games come when multiple people score. You know, last game Jeremiah Hall gets loose, CD gets. I don't even think did CD score last game.
Yeah, I think he had one.
He had one. Okay, but
two,
again, he's not going to score 3 touchdowns every game.
Right.
You know, we have to think about if he scored or not. Maybe that's a good thing.
Yeah.
You know, because that means, especially if we scored as many points as we did. I mean,
Right. Yeah,
that's going to be a good thing.
Yeah.
Right. You know, so that means you got some dudes. It probably means Rambo had a good game. It probably means your running backs had a good game. So you know, it's important for him to get. Lincoln's a guy, and this is where I like Jalen Hurts, is he can direct run game like Deshaun Watson could, which helps you out, especially short yardage. They just run him, you know. That allows you to have an extra guy, an extra blocker, those type of deals. So
yeah, no, that's very true.
You know, they a lot of people don't realize, and especially in college, look for, especially when you get in red zone, tight zone, 20-yard line, 10-yard line, speed option, quarterback run. Watch for those things because it allows you to read off of a player and, you know, create some space and things like that.
Yeah.
You know, I like Hurts, and again, I think Lincoln, you know, by him showing his genius, a lot of times through the fullback is amazing.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm extremely happy with it.
Yeah, no, for sure. And especially when it comes to, of course, Jalen. Oh, no! We're good.
Man,
We're
game-saving
We're
tackle.
good. But especially coming, like I said, towards Jalen Hurts, like you said before, and a lot of us have talked about this, that he offers a power running game from a quarterback that we've never seen, like you said, Deshaun Watson or Cam Newton, stuff like that. So how important do you think that truly is, just as far as not only helping Jalen towards his Heisman race, but helping OU to a national?
It helps the Heisman race for sure. The Natty, though, brother, is about blocking Alabama or Clemson.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. It's about blocking and tackling Alabama and Clemson. You can make it out to be whatever we think it's going to be, but that's what it's going to be about.
Right. No, he didn't land in bounds.
Almost.
So
Getting real over here.
1923, 51 seconds left. Oh, man. If I lose this game, I'll tell you what. If I lose this game, I'll do one of your workouts.
All right, let's
on
do
camera.
It. All right,
on camera.
I got my stuff ready.
That'll probably be my last day on camera. But and then pick that. I'm not working out today. Let's go. And so kind of talking about that. Hopefully, I'm not going to take a knee though. I'm going to keep playing.
Okay, cool.
But like you said, coming to talk about working out and stuff like that, you are a personal trainer, and of course you train with some guys who are on the OU team now.
Oh yeah,
like
Marcus Major,
Jalen Redmond, Marcus Major,
Bray Walker.
Like Bray Walker, of course. Yeah. How important do you think that is, having somebody for them at home to work out with?
Huge. Just one, getting them ready mentally for what they're about to go through. You brought up the athlete schedule. I mean, that is taxing in itself.
Timeout is this, but
that's fine.
You need it,
yeah.
but.
Yeah, man, you know, mentally is one thing, physically is another. Just because if you don't run track these days or you don't have a trainer, you're in some trouble.
Right.
You are in some serious trouble. So, JD with the game saving. See, I knew I liked you for a reason. I knew I liked you. JD seals the game. I can lose on that and sleep tonight.
Yeah,
so,
right,
you know,
right.
Yeah. But no, man, what were we talking about again?
Oh, just your training and how important it is for people at home. Yeah.
Because the muscles they're going to get you to work, you know, the way they're going to get you to work, it's going to drain you. I mean, nobody comes to college from an 85,000 seat stadium.
Right.
So when they have you run that thing, it's going to be new to you. Yeah. You know, and it's going to hurt you. And again, the knowledge of that and then the training that will get you ready for that is rare to know.
Right.
So that's my big thing for the kids, is just having them know what they're getting into, having them do some of the stuff they're going to get into, and just preparing. Because again, man, not a lot of there's a lot of guys that don't make it.
Right.
There's a lot of guys that don't make it. I mean, I know we have a lot of. We've been blessed with this Heisman stuff. We've been blessed with a bunch of natties, but there's also been a dark side of things where we've had a lot of athletes that don't, a lot of athletes that struggle, a lot of this, a lot of that. So and then just to finalize, you had asked me earlier about the national championship stuff, man. When you talk about Lincoln's offense and those things, I mean it's this equation. It's zone read in the NFL. It's when you get down there, and that's why I like having Jalen Hurts, is when you get down there, you have to say, I'm going to come at you. We have 10 guys blocking 10. Can your safety make a play? Can your corner make a play? Can this backside DN make a play? It's a great idea. And again, I just it's a great idea if it works, obviously.
Right,
but the problem is it hasn't a lot of times. And for the big games and for those things, that's where when you hear me talk about the fullback position and things like that and goal line and short yardage packages, Bama brings in D tackles and just brings in those big boys and just goes that way.
Yeah.
Clemson now does the same thing. And again, if they have that Deshaun Watson type player, it becomes, again, can your one guy stop ours? Right. But that battle of the game inside the tackles is huge. And we've been blessed and we've had a great O-line. And that's why I'm happy to see our defensive line. But, man, there's a difference. I mean, there's a difference between 5-star Quinnen Williams and what we've had in the Big 12.
Yeah.
There's a huge difference. I mean, there's a huge difference when Clemson is bringing in their backup DN this year, Xavier Thomas.
Yeah.
Dude's number 2 player in the nation.
Yeah.
He's sitting on the bench, for a year. I mean, you at an OU, you wouldn't have that.
Right.
There's a reason why you wouldn't have that, and that's because the guy, if a guy of that stature comes to us, he's starting immediately.
Right.
So, and that's where we've got to get it to, man. I like where we're at, and I think we're starting to get some guys national attention.
Yeah.
But the conference is just another talk.
Yeah.
It's another talk.
And then speaking of which, I heard you talk about 85,000 and how hard it is to play. So just our final question for you is, of course, we had to ask, how is it to play at Texas Tech and in Lubbock? Is it hard?
Are y'all going to play the segment too? Are you going to afterwards? No, I'm just playing. It's different, giving you a little inside access. So,
or just anywhere in the Big 12, but Texas Tech.
Yeah, because of the Go Raiders. Yeah, but so that day, I mean, we went out to Tech twice, and I believe Lincoln Riley was on that squad. Ruffin McNeil, all those guys.
Gotcha.
They do good work. Mike Leach, I mean, some damn good coach. Benny Riley, I mean, not bad coaches at all.
Yeah, not at all. Yeah.
And then, by the way, the teams, Wes Welker, Danny Amendola, they're not terrible.
No, not at all.
Yeah. So again, same squad. That's tough. We go down there. My sophomore year, it was a great game. We ended up beating them. Senior year, and it was the same situation. We go down there. There's this little, we called it the Hacienda. There's this little pink Holiday Inn. I don't know if you've ever been to.
No, I've never been to Lubbock.
I mean, and no offense to y'all, this is a nice place and all, but it's like the size of this.
Yeah.
Like for 85 guys. Oof. Like, so you're like looking down like, hey, what's up? What do y'all, like,
everybody's in one
close
spot.
The door, and everybody hears you shut the door. So like, there was that. You get to the stadium, Lubbock's rare, dude, in a sense of, one, when you step off the plane. Have you ever been to Lubbock?
No, I haven't, no.
When you step off the plane, you like, okay. Like, there's little dust nados. Like, little, it's wind blowing everywhere. It smells like straight doo-doo. Yeah. Like, because they're digging in everywhere. There's oil everywhere. There's these, like, it really, like, if the old cowboy movies where with
the tumbleweed,
you're like, you're looking around like waiting on somebody, like, all right, old school gas stations, damn, 10 on pump 6, somebody's just, but waiting there doing,
right.
Like. So the other deal is their students, and it may have just been for us, but they were ready. They were in the student section as we walked in. So they were ready, like throwing tortillas at us and calling everybody names and stuff like that. Well, we get out there, and my senior year, this is the Go Raiders stuff, but my senior year, I'll put it to you this way. If the Big 12 format was what it is now, that game would have been to go to the Big 12 championship.
Oh, gotcha.
So it was North and South back then, so it didn't matter because Texas was undefeated and they were going to go, and it was going to be somebody from the North. Well, that game basically sent somebody to the Cotton Bowl to play Bama, whoever won. Yeah. Bama was under probation, but it was still been a cool deal. All of our team was from Dallas. We didn't want to go somewhere else.
Right.
Well, the Go Raiders, or excuse me, the play that gets me so mad is the Amendola first down where the ball's tipped up in the air, he catches it, falls back, they get the first down. They score, whatever happens. After the game, dude, I'm sitting there and I'm like, doing this interview, they're trying to get my opinion on it, and this dude just keeps yelling. Well, back then, I mean, everything's on. You got like these little cameras right now. Everybody's like on this here with a VHS tape in there. Well, I'm like, surely nobody's gonna like ever see this. Like nobody's gonna put that on the news of me just being like da 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 da. Well, that was obviously on a Saturday. I get back to Norman on Monday, or we get back to Norman obviously that night, but we're all pissed off because we thought we got cheated and that whole deal. Well, we get back to practice on Monday, and I went through special teams meetings, and I come up to running back meetings, and I can't remember who we were. I think it might have been the last game of the season for us, and we were just kind of going over some stuff about what we were going to do in the bowl game. And so I usually met with Coach Sumlin and the tight end fullbacks while I was meeting this. I was sitting in his room. That was what happened. And Cale Gundy, who coaches running backs, comes in our room, and he's like, "Hey, have you seen such and such or collegehumor.com or da 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 da?" And I'm like, damn, already? And he's like, "Yeah, man, I went on there. You got like 150,000 views, bro." I'm like, wow. So from that point on, nobody's ever dropped it.
That's amazing.
Ever.
That's amazing. Yeah.
But yeah, College Humor was the one that got it. It's been in the movie Heckler. Jamie Kennedy did a documentary, and like 30 seconds into it, when that documentary came out, there was like 10 people text me, "I'm at the movies and just saw you."
That's crazy.
Great. Awesome. Like, yeah, it was amazing, and it was horrible.
Awesome. So. Well, yeah, we haven't let it go either. but
legendary.
Thank you.
That's funny.
So
I
much,
appreciate
y'all,
man.
Yeah.
Thank you for the L. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, final score, I have to say it. I got bragged
no doubt.
23 me, 19 JD.
Yeah.
So I will not be doing one of his workouts on camera because honestly, I'm not built for that anymore. I never was to begin with. But like I said, this is Out of Bounds here with JD Runnels. Thank you so much. And we'll see you around next time for sure.